All right, let's dive into something that could really shake up global diplomacy. We're talking about Donald Trump's proposed Board of Peace. Now, it started as an idea for Gaza, but its charter seems to be aiming way, way higher, maybe even taking on institutions like the United Nations. So let's break down what's really going on here.
And wow, this quote from a diplomat who's seen the letter really just says it all, doesn't it? A Trump United Nations. That phrase gets right to the heart of the matter. The fear isn't that this is just another committee, it's that this could be a direct challenge to the entire global system we've had since World War II. So you gotta ask, what exactly is this Board of Peace? Is it just a temporary fix for a crisis, or are we looking at the blueprint for a totally new kind of global power? The founding documents, well, they tell a pretty fascinating story.
Okay, so let's look at where this all started. The board was initially pitched with a super specific focus, figuring out what to do with post-war Gaza. But when you actually read the charter, that vision expands fast. It goes from one conflict zone to, well, the entire globe.
So on the surface, the official mission seems pretty standard, right? Reconstruction, peace building, bringing in investment for Gaza. But then you see that last line, a bold new approach to resolving global conflict. That's the first big sign that the ambitions here go way beyond just one region.
And this is where it gets really interesting. The draft charter actually takes a direct shot at organizations like the UN, calling them institutions that have too often failed. And get this, the charter that's supposedly all about Gaza, apparently it doesn't even mention Gaza by name. Instead, it talks about being a new tool for any place affected or threatened by conflict.
So if you're building a new global player, who's calling the shots? This brings us to the power structure. And honestly, it's not like anything you see in modern diplomacy.
The man in charge, the inaugural chairman, is Donald J. Trump. But here is the absolutely crucial detail. The charter makes it clear this role is separate from the U.S. presidency. This isn't about the office, it's about the man. The power wouldn't just transfer to a new president if he left office. It stays with him.
And when you look at the powers this chairman has, wow, it is a lot. A lifetime appointment. He can appoint and fire anyone he wants. He has total veto power. He can even name his own successor. This isn't a board of equals working together. It's a system built entirely around one permanent chairman. I mean, that's the complete opposite of how bodies like the UN are supposed to work.
And make no mistake, this isn't just some fringe idea with unknown names. The list of proposed board members includes some heavy hitters, like former UK Prime Minister Tony Blair and the current head of the World Bank. The plan is clearly to have a team with serious global clout right from the get-go.
Okay, but a massive operation like this needs money, right? So how are they planning to pay for it? Well, the funding model is just as unconventional as its leadership.
Get ready for this number, $1 billion. Yep, according to the documents, that's how much a country needs to contribute to get a permanent seat on the board.
So what this creates is a pretty clear two-tier system. You have your standard members who are invited for a few years, and then you have your permanent members. A $1 billion contribution basically buys you a permanent seat at the table. It's a model that ties money directly to power, and that, you can imagine, is raising a lot of questions.
So you send out these invitations for this radical new board. What's the response been like? Well, as you can probably guess, it's all over the map. We're seeing everything from quick acceptances to some serious opposition. They didn't just invite a few friends either. We're talking about a pretty big list. Around 60 heads of state got an invitation. It includes traditional allies like the UK and Germany, key players in the Middle East, and major economies all over the world. The strategy was to build a big, global coalition right out of the gate.
And it's not just an idea on paper. Some people are already saying yes. The presidents of both Argentina and Paraguay actually posted their invitation letters online and publicly accepted a role on the board. But, and this is a big but, there's some serious pushback coming from a really crucial player. The office of the Israeli Prime Minister put out this really sharp statement. They made it clear they weren't consulted and that the whole plan goes against their policy. So the board is already facing opposition in the very region it was supposedly created to help.
So you take this massive ambition, this wild power structure, and this split reaction from the world, and it all leads to one huge question about what this all means for the future.
So what are we to make of all this? Is the Board of Peace a bold, new way to get things done, to cut through all the red tape we see in global diplomacy? Or is it a direct challenge to the entire world order, designed to concentrate huge amounts of power in the hands of just a few? The answer isn't clear yet, but you can be sure of one thing.
Everybody in the world of diplomacy is watching this very, very closely.